Hey everyone! Today we're just doing a very casual, relaxed type of video. I actually prefer these more not only to make but just to also watch. I was just watching a Kathleen Lights video last night and I love her so much. She just makes you feel like you're hanging out with her rather than watching someone like preach about their favorite cleanser over and over and over again in every single video. We'll save that for another day. I'm actually going to meet some friends later tonight for dinner. I haven't seen them in forever, so we're just going to get ready together. Before we actually get started, I do just want to mention two products. I just received this in the mail from my friend Rudy. This is the Bread Hair Cream and it is phenomenal. Also, I'm sorry, I'm sure you all are tired of hearing her freaking name. Rudy. You'll be hearing it again. But anyways, this curl cream is fantastic. I just got it in the mail and Bread has become my favorite hair brand of all time. This thing smells amazing. I was kind of worried that it was going to be too heavy on my curls because of how heavy the jug is, but the cream itself is actually so lightweight. This thing is phenomenal. My curls feel good. They don't feel too weighed down. I wish you can touch them. They feel all soft and nice. Not too crunchy. I do layer on a gel after a curl cream, but they don't feel too crunchy. Fantastic cream, and this thing's gonna last a while. I mean, this is like a serious jug. On top of that, I just got done filming videos for this. This is the Baldona Gua Sha. This is new to me. My friend just sent it to me, my friend Nancy back from high school. This is a brand she's launching, and this Gua Sha is phenomenal. I just started out the day with some phenomenal products. I mean, this has been a good day. This Gua Sha is really interesting because of the shape of it. You know, I'm normally used to a traditional Gua Sha. I use the Saatchi Beauty Gua Sha all the time, every single day. Ever since I got this in the mail, this one has been really nice. It's really heavy, very similar to the Saatchi Beauty Gua Sha, which is one of the things that I love about that one. But the shape of this actually hugs the contours of your face really nicely. And as you see, it actually has these ridges to it. To me, the ridges really help with blood flow, really helping with that circulation. On top of just that lymphatic drainage, which you normally get with Gua Sha, I'm really impressed by this. I mean, maybe my face is just a little more sculpted and glowy from this product. I mean, this was amazing to use. Don't worry, I'll be linking all these down below. All right, before we get started, I do need to reapply my sunscreen. I haven't reapplied it today. I'm a naughty boy. Anytime I'm home and I can reapply really easily, I always make sure to hydrate my skin first. Sunscreen actually acts as a moisturizer. You can use some sunscreens in place of a moisturizer depending on how moisturizing it is. So I always make sure to go in with some type of hydration, and I really like this one from Osea. This is their Sea Minerals Mist. No matter what hydration you're using, I just like to spray something on my face just to give my skin some extra love before I go in with that reapplication. This is an amazing product. The spray is just a little aggressive, but I adore this. And now that we have that hydration, I'm gonna go in with the Paula's Choice Youth Extending Daily Hydrating Fluid. This is an amazing chemical sunscreen. It's a little matte, still a little glowy, but I do really like it, especially with the other products I'm gonna go in with today. I can't even do the 3-finger method with this just because of how runny it is, but it's really nice and super lightweight. So as I said, I'm doing dinner with my friends. I'm gonna see Allison and Savannah tonight. They are my friends back from undergrad. We went to art school together and we were the type of friends to spend like every single second in the studio together. We were always making art, which is funny now because I haven't made a single piece of art since I got my master's degree. Look how easily that blended in. This thing is amazing. Miss Paula just knows her stuff and it dries down so beautifully. I don't even feel like I need to wait for my next product, which is the Makeup Revolution Concealer. This is in the shade C1 and I'll show you what I do with this because it's not like regular concealer for me. I actually put this just right where I'm really porous, like right on my nose. And this to me just kind of hides that congestion. I just put like a little bit and kind of brighten the center of my face. And I'm not really experienced with makeup, so you're gonna think I'm crazy with all these steps, but it works for me. So yeah, I'm seeing them later tonight and we are gonna go to Korean barbecue, which I'm so excited for. I haven't seen them or gotten Korean barbecue in probably, I was gonna say years, and I think that's actually accurate. It's been like before COVID, and COVID was like 1.5 years ago at this point, like almost 2 years. Yeah, so I'm really excited to not only see them, but to also just eat that delicious Korean barbecue. Also, I forgot I had a little friend pop up here the other day. And you'll see, obviously this is not blended out very well, but it doesn't really matter because of the next step that I'm gonna do. The next step I'm actually gonna do to cover this concealer is actually tinted sunscreen. I'm gonna go in with whatever tinted sunscreen I wanna use this day. Today it's the Elta MD Tinted UV Daily. I can use the UV Clear. Sometimes I go in with the Dermtella one. Other times I go in with the tinted one from Paula's Choice. Really what I'm looking for here is just a very sheer tint to cover up this coverage that I just applied. And I literally just do this right with my fingers. And so this is acting as like my foundation step, but it's such sheer coverage that you can still just see skin, which is what I want. I don't want coverage. I still want to see my texture and my pores. I just kind of want to even out that skin tone and hide some of that congestion. It's honestly not that much difference whatsoever. It just makes me feel a little bit better. And that's really all we're trying to do every single day. We just try and feel our best. And if this light coverage makes us feel that way, then perfect. Next, I actually just need a little bit of lip balm because my lips are crusty right now. This is by Fresh. This is their Sugar Caramel lip balm. These are some of the best lip balms literally ever. They have so many delicious flavors to them. This one's one of the ones that are not tinted. You can get a tinted one, and I'm actually going to use one later, but this one is clear and absolutely delicious. I actually don't really get caramel necessarily. It just tastes kind of sweet, kind of like sweet cereal. Is that a weird comparison? It's actually pretty accurate if you were to taste this, but it's delicious either way. Next, I'm actually going to use the Hollywood Flawless filter. I'm going to use this as like a highlight under my blush that I'm going to go with. I kind of like placing it that way, this under the blush, just because I feel like it blends a lot better. This video is actually a break for me. Normally right now I would be watching Gossip Girl, the original, not the new one. Let's not disrespect the OG. Are you all watching the new one? I definitely think I will, but I'm not yet. I'm kind of like being a little stubborn with that one. I don't know who they think they are trying to remake that show. That's just disrespectful. I heard the new one's good though, but like, how can you replace freaking Serena and Blair? You absolutely cannot. I love everything about Gossip Girl, and rewatching it, it's just as enjoyable as the first time. The only difference is Dan, because I actually watched the show You as well, and he's cuckoo in that one. So every single episode I'm rewatching it and I'm like, ooh, when you going cray cray? And I'm like, wrong show. He ain't killing nobody here. That show also just makes me want to keep applying to jobs in New York, even though my life in New York would literally never be like theirs, obviously. They live this lavish, like Upper East Side lifestyle that obviously I would never get to, but there's such a beautiful thing to like imagine my life as like an elite Upper East Sider. I just love that show so much. That highlighter is done. I'm going in with the Honest Beauty blush. I talked about this a little bit in my last video, I believe. I adore this one. This one sits really nicely on the skin. It doesn't move as much as like the Tower 28 one that I've tried. A little more matte than the Tower 28 one, so I feel like pairing it alongside a like highlighter really is a great combo. Actually, before that, I'm going to do one other step. I'm going to go in with the Fenty bronzer. This is the cream bronzer. It's in shade Butter Biscuit. I don't use this one very often because I feel like I don't really know how to use bronzer, but sometimes I just like pack it right on the nose. I act like this is like a nose contour. It looks like I just shoved my nose in a piece of poop. I trust the process. So I just kind of like darken that up. Oh my gosh, this is why I'm a skincare guru, not a makeup guru. I just sometimes feel like bronzer or like contour just kind of looks dirty, but I also do realize that I'm not applying it right. So speaking of Gossip Girl, I love Lil J. Lil J is my favorite character probably, and part of the reason is the band The Pretty Reckless, which she's actually the lead singer of. Really love that band. I think they're still making music, but not as much as they used to. I was actually supposed to see them in concert with my little brother until he bailed on me. Still bitter to this day. But she's really big into fashion in the show, and sometimes I feel like I just want to be like her. It was actually one of the reasons why I decided to go thrifting the other day, which this shirt is actually a thrift find. I just kind of wanted some basics, some like good tees, and I'm actually really surprised with what I found. Sometimes thrifting can be very hit or miss for me. I have a very interesting, weird style sometimes, and I feel like sometimes if I'm in the thrift store, I can just go a little too crazy. But I was very surprised with myself this time. I left with like some essentials, a white tee, red tee. This was like my one colored item. I know it's very basic, but I need some color in my life, and I'm actually surprised that I like this shirt, because sometimes I feel like red just makes me look red. And speaking of red, I'm gonna go in with my blush now. Again, Honest Beauty blush, I'm gonna go in with the shade Rose Pink. So back to Gossip Girl and Lil J. Yeah, she's in a band and she's big into fashion, and she's one of the reasons why I wanted to go thrifting. I remember back in the day, I really didn't want to be a fashion designer necessarily, but I always took photo shoots of people. Like back in high school, I used to be this weird kid and used to go up to people like, can I do a photo shoot with you? Like, can I drive you places and just take random pictures of you as if you're a model and I'm a photographer? And sometimes they turned out pretty good. I'm actually surprised. But it's just funny, like I used to want to be a fashion photographer. I used to want to work for Harper's Bazaar. Long story short, my favorite singer is Rihanna, and she used to do these photo shoots with Harper's Bazaar, and they were absolutely beautiful. And it was just my absolute dream to be that photographer and take those kinds of photos, because not only were they artsy, but they were still mainstream, which is what I liked. I don't know, I just loved them so much. And it was one of the reasons why I started to take photography classes back in undergrad and back at community college. And it was all because of Rihanna and Lil J. Lil J, Blair Waldorf, also Eleanor Waldorf, just having these like fashion shows and being really creative, and loved it. Now what I want to do is the brows. I adore this, absolutely adore this. This is NYX the brow glue. This stands your brows up so well without making them crunchy, which is really nice. While I was thrifting, I actually found these clothes and I was like, ooh, I can take these home and rip them apart, tie-dye them, bleach them, do all this stuff to be creative. No, you should never do that. Stop kidding yourself. You are not a fashion icon. You cannot redefine develop clothes and make them cooler. How you buy them on the shelf, that's the coolest that they're gonna be. At least in my case. I've bleached clothes and tie-dye clothes and it's always fun, but they're never really that pretty. Also look at the brow. That's a good brow. I always wanted to try and get my brows laminated too, just to see what it would look like. Especially if you can stand them up. It's kind of like a brow perm, isn't it? I want that. Brows really do shape the face, and I've actually never gotten my brows done before. I always do them myself. And I know some people are like, well, you know your brows the best. Like, you know your face the best. You know which hair should stay and which hair should go. And I actually don't know if that's the case or not. I think I'm just lazy, and I think I'm just cheap, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to make the appointment, and I don't want to go see somebody. So until then, I'll have mediocre brows. So sometimes I fill in my brows with this NYX Lift and Snatch brow tint pen. I use the shade Espresso. It's a little bit darker. The one before this I think is a little warm for me, but this one's nice. But I'm gonna let my brows dry a little bit. I'm actually gonna go in and fill in the beard. This is a staple for me. If ever I feel like crap, I always go in and really like sculpt the face just with that jawline. If you darken this up a little bit, it makes the world of difference. So I honestly go in, sometimes you have to shake it to really get the product in there. And I just go in, and wherever it's like a little sparse, I just go in and color it in. My brother's also coming into town tonight. I don't really know what we're gonna do. I think he's coming to really help us pack, but I feel like we're gonna do some other stuff also, but I don't really know what that is. I know sometimes you won't be able to tell a difference with this step, what I'm doing, but it makes a huge difference for me. And that's really all that matters. But yeah, he's coming into town. I need to go visit him as well. I'm just super excited that we can start traveling again. I went to LA recently and that was super fun. I saw my friends Kelsey and Emily. I also want to make a trip down to New Orleans to see my friend Leticia. I know this isn't really like traveling, but Anna and I were supposed to go and do a hike together, and then we had to cancel that because of this back issue that I had. I had like this thing growing on my back. It looked like a freaking alien. So I had to cancel that, but I think eventually we're gonna try and reschedule that. I just want to start doing things again, even if they're outside. Go for a hike, go out to dinner, go to a winery, go to a brewery, do something. Make myself sane, but at the same time, I don't want to socialize with literally anybody. I can see my bestest of friends, but please don't introduce me to anybody new. I'm not ready. Can we just all talk about that? Let's be 100% vulnerable with each other. I have social anxiety. I do, 100%. I don't want to talk to anybody I don't know. I don't. I just don't. I don't want to do it. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be entertaining for either parties. I feel like they're not going to like me. I feel like I'm not going to like them. I just don't want to do it. But at the same time, I also am looking to expand my horizons and meet new people, fall in love. How am I going to fall in love if I don't meet new people? I don't know, but I'm not going to do it. It doesn't seem fun, literally at all. I know eventually, obviously, I'm gonna have to get over that, but tonight's not the night. Tomorrow's not the morrow. Monday's not the day. Next week ain't the week. Next month ain't the month. I'm just not gonna do it for a long time. I think there's a reason I started to sit here and talk to a camera. I know obviously I'm talking to you all on the other side of the camera, but there's a reason I'm in my room talking to myself right now. Also, I'm going in with this lip balm. This is a tinted lip balm. This one is also by Fresh. It's the Sugar Blood Orange lip balm. Very, very similar to the one I used before, that caramel one, but this one just has a little tint to it, which just kind of wakes up your lips. Just adds a very, very slight flush of color. These lip balms are just magical. I would recommend this to literally anybody. I don't know if I want to wear these tonight. I got these from somebody off of TikTok. I saw this brand. She's like a little 15, like 12-year-old or something, and she makes this jewelry and it's really cute. So I don't know if I want to wear these. I broke the other one. I don't know if I can fix it before I go out, but these ones like layer on top of each other. Or I can be obnoxious. No, this isn't the moves. Let's stick to the other one. I like need it to be 6 o'clock so I can leave already, just so I can go eat. Every time I go to Korean barbecue, I always don't eat a lot throughout the day so I can stay hungry, but it's always difficult to do. I'll just leave it to the one. The two is really nice, but I'm really not gonna try and fix it before I have to go. I'm gonna spray one more time with the Osea one. I'm gonna treat this as like a setting spray, even though it's not. It's literally just a hydrating spray. But maybe it'll melt everything in. Maybe it'll do what it's not made to do. All right, I feel a little bit prettier than I did before, even though for you all, I probably looked the exact same. I do have kind of like a little announcement to make. As you all probably see, there's different camera quality and there's different sound quality as well. I am trying my best to literally post consistently. I would like to announce this here on camera so that I can hold myself to it. I will be posting consistently every Tuesdays and Saturdays from here on out. We are on a schedule here, you all. We are going to be productive. We are going to stick to a schedule. We are going to be responsible, and we're going to pump this content out. So if you have any video ideas that you want me to do, please leave them down below. I'm happy to take suggestions, brand reviews, product reviews. We're going to have a lot coming your way. Thank you all for hanging out with me. I'm going to go lay in bed and ruin all this face until dinner time. Next time you see me, I will have gained 20 pounds of beef, literally just beef, bulgogi, brisket, pork belly. Thank you all for hanging out with me, and all of these products will be listed down below as well, along with my my socials. I feel like I don't want to do this today, but I'll remind you to go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell notification. All that good old jazz that I'm supposed to say here on YouTube. Anyways, thank you all for watching and hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.